Did you hurt Lauren?
No,
Steven, did you hurt Lauren?
no.
Welcome or welcome back. I'm your host T, and this is True Crime Obsession. College graduation is usually a time to celebrate one of life's greatest accomplishments, a time to look to the future and plan for the next chapter in life, from career moves, marriage, family, buying a home, and overall just becoming a real adult. However, things don't always go the way you plan, and sometimes the unimaginable happens just as life is getting started. We'll start our story by introducing you to Lauren Giddings. She was born in 1984 in Tacoma Park, Maryland. She was the oldest of three girls. She was described as being smart, funny, ambitious, outgoing, and athletic all throughout high school. She planned to attend college after graduating high school, and she was stuck between pursuing a medical degree or a law degree. So Lauren was the first in her family to go to college. All of her friends and family were very proud and heavily supported her plans for the future. However, ultimately, she chose to attend a small women's liberal arts college called Agnes Scott College in Decatur, Georgia, to complete her undergrad work. She graduated in 2006 with a major in political science and minor in religious studies. Due to Lauren being highly ambitious, she knew she wasn't going to stop there. She researched several different graduate programs all over the country, but ultimately she was drawn to the elegance and the charm of the South. In 2008, at the age of 24, Lauren enrolled in Mercer University in Macon, Georgia, where she decided that she would pursue her dreams in becoming a public defender at Mercer's Law School. Lauren was described by her friends as being thoughtful, caring, and most importantly, kind. She never met a stranger and somehow always seemed the good in everyone. During law school, Lauren moved into an apartment complex that mainly catered to Mercer Law students. Therefore, over time, she got to know quite a few of her neighbors who she would hang out with during downtime. But unfortunately, Lauren's good looks and wit would catch the attention of one neighbor in particular. Now let's talk about Stephen McDaniel. He was also a law student at Mercer. He moved into the same apartment complex as Lauren did during the same week that she moved in. He was described as being tall, lanky, with long, bushy hair. He didn't care a lot about his appearance. He would always look tired, disheveled, with ill-fitting clothes that were usually too big for him. He was definitely what you would call the polar opposite of what Lauren was. Most people described him as being weird and eccentric. Although he was nice and very dependable, he never really had very many friends, even throughout his childhood. He was shy, he was considered awkward throughout most of his life. He also had a bit of OCD. Because of this, as a young child, he would like everything to be clean, neat, and organized at all times. His family would jokingly call him Mr. Clean due to this trait. This did not change when he went to college. However, he was a loner and he mostly stayed in the apartment and studied and watched samurai movies. On top of taking the max number of courses every single year, Stephen also joined the Mercer's chapter of the Federalist Society. The Federalist Society is an organization of about 60,000 lawyers, law students, scholars, and other individuals who believe and trust that individual citizens can make the best choices for themselves and society. The purpose of the society is to sponsor fair, serious, and open debates about the need to enhance individual freedoms and the role of the courts in saying what law is rather than what they wish it to be. Not only was Stephen a part of the Federalist Society, Lauren was as well. They both remained members throughout their entire time in law school. And in their last year of law school, around 2010, 2011, Lauren was elected president of the society and Stephen was elected the vice president. Despite the two being in the same graduate program and being the president and vice president of the same organization, they really didn't have very much in common. They didn't run in the same circles, they didn't see each other very much, but this somehow did not stop Stephen, who was already developing an unhealthy obsession and stalking Lauren at this point. Lauren had voiced suspicions to her friends and family that she suspected that someone had been in her apartment while she was away on a trip. She came home to some of the things being in different places than when she left. In June of 2011, after returning from a trip, Lauren let her friends and family know that she had planned to unplug for a while and that she would check in with them periodically. Everyone knew she was planning and studying for her upcoming bar exam, and she needed the time to focus without distractions. As everyone knew how important this was to her, they respected her wishes and didn't bother her much. On June 25th, 2011, Lauren sent her boyfriend an email that she believed someone had attempted to break into her apartment a couple of nights before on June 23rd. She brushed it off and stated that it was probably some hoodlums in the neighborhood just messing around. Later on the night of June 25th, Lauren was seen returning home from grabbing some dinner from a local fast food restaurant by her neighbors in the apartment complex. This would be the last time anyone would see or hear from Lauren. June 29th, Lauren's sister Caitlin and a few of her close friends noticed they haven't heard from her in a few days. Now, you may be saying to yourself, she did plan to unplug, so it shouldn't be that alarming that they didn't hear from her. Although Lauren did plan to unplug, she still kept regular contact with the people that were closest to her. Some of Lauren's friends would go over to her apartment to attempt to make contact with her, but upon arrival, they noticed that her car was still in the parking lot, but they did not receive a response when knocking on the door. One of her friends knew where she kept the spare key in case of emergencies, and a few of her friends would enter her apartment to look for Lauren. Lauren was nowhere to be found, and all of her personal belongings, including keys, books, purse, everything was still in the apartment. Lauren's friends would quickly contact her family to let them know what they found in her apartment, and her family immediately filed a missing person report with the Macon, Georgia Police Department. The investigation began quickly after the call. The police would find no forced entry into the apartment nor any signs of struggle. The police would go door to door talking to neighbors, trying to piece together where Lauren was or what happened to her. Since this was classified as a missing persons case, it is normal for the community to come together to form a search party. They would canvass the area alongside police in hopes of finding the person quickly. The search party for Lauren included friends, families, classmates, and neighbors. They would search the immediate area around the apartment complex. During this time, a news crew had pulled up and began covering the story and interviewing law enforcement, friends, families, and neighbors who would give them details about Lauren's case. Somehow, the news crew came across Stephen McDaniels while setting up and asked him if he would do an interview. Stephen was all too willing to give an interview for the news crew for background information and answer any questions. During the interview, nothing about Stephen seemed suspicious or off-putting at all. That is until the anchor told Stephen on camera that they had found body parts in the dumpster of the parking lot. Let's take a quick look at the interview and Stephen's reactions to the news.
Yeah, Lauren was my neighbor. We're just trying to find out where she is at this point. I mean, no one has seen her since Saturday. I mean, the last time anyone heard from her was an email that she sent out, and no one's heard from her since.
Did you see her hang out with anyone at the time, anything like that?
I mean, no one has seen her since Saturday. I haven't seen anything. I mean, you always hear noise outside, but it's just people walking by pretty much.
And she just recently graduated from Mercer?
Yeah, she and I were both JD students. We graduated back in May.
What kind of person was she? I mean, what did you see?
I mean, she's as nice as can be. I mean, very personable, very much a people person.
Do you know any enemies she might have had, somebody that might want to hurt her?
No, we don't know where she is. I mean, the only thing we can think is that maybe she went out running and someone snatched her. Because we went over. One of her friends had a key. We went inside and tried to see if there was anything amiss, but she had a door jamb that was sitting right by it, so there was no sign that anyone broke in. The door was locked when everyone got here. We just don't know where she is.
What about in the parking lot area? I know they've been doing a lot of. I think that's where they have recovered the body or whatever they recovered from there.
Body.
Had you seen anything there? Had you seen anything there? I mean, we don't know if this is the same person. You know what I mean? Like, they took out a body there earlier. We don't know if it's the same person or not. So that's how we're trying to ask people if they know who lived there. Are you okay, sir?
I think I need to sit down.
Okay.
Now, let me backtrack a little bit. Stephen's reaction at first glance was not that unusual. He stated he was her neighbor, they were both in the same law program, they were in the same organization, and he was helping out with the search. So, of course, he would be upset finding out that Lauren was brutally unalived, and for anyone else, that would be correct. But in Stephen's case, not so much. After this devastating find, police went door to door asking questions of all the neighbors. This was just to initially clear some of the people off their list. They also asked the neighbors if they can do a quick search of their apartments. Most of them had no problem with consenting to the search. Everybody but Stephen. He denied the investigator access without a warrant. While this initially piqued the investigators' interest in Stephen, it wasn't surprising knowing that he was a recent law graduate and they had no legal reason to search his place. But after much pressure from the investigators, Stephen consented to a search of his place. Among the things the investigators found was a set of master keys and a hacksaw packaging. When questioned why he had the master keys, he admitted that he entered two neighbors' apartments and stole condoms. With the admission of the burglary, the investigators decided to bring Stephen in on burglary charges and to question him more about Lauren's unaliving. Because he had already consented to a search of his apartment, the investigators took him to the station while the rest of his apartment was being searched. Within the search, they confiscated a computer with several flash drives where they found disturbing searches, including minors being violently essayed, and a search related to Lauren that were inappropriate and that suggested that he had romantic feelings for her. Stephen also had a video camera in his apartment. On the camera, they found that Stephen attached a stick so he can extend it out of the window and look into Lauren's apartment. Apparently, this was not his first time doing this, as he knew exactly where to point the camera. As the search continued, investigators found packaging for a hacksaw. Earlier that day, in the community laundry room at the apartment complex, investigators found a bloody hacksaw that matched the packaging that was in Stephen's apartment, along with blood-soaked sheets and a pair of women's underwear that were found later to have Lauren's DNA, indicating that Stephen had previously entered Lauren's apartment and took her underwear. Here's where things get a little bit interesting. Once Stephen was brought into the interrogation room, he displayed the oddest behavior. He was very robotic in nature, from his movements to his speech. He did answer questions for the investigators, but they were very short and frequently repeated what the investigators said to him.
Okay. I need to know about this girl right here. You know her?
Yes,
Who is that?
Lauren Giddings.
Does she live next door to you?
Yes,
When's the last time you seen her?
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Was you friends with Lauren?
Yes,
Look at me when you talk to me, son. Okay? Was you friends with her?
yes,
Close friends?
we were good.
I mean, y'all were friends, right? Both of
Yes.
y'all are law students. You're studying to be an attorney, right?
Yes.
What kind of law do you want to go into? Criminal law?
Yes,
Civil? Is that what you want to do for a living?
yes,
Okay. Are you almost finished?
yes,
Okay. So you don't have too much more to do, right?
no,
All right. Are you going to stay here in Macon?
I don't know.
Did you used to work at the district attorney's office in Macon?
Yes,
Was you on the prosecutor side or the defense side?
prosecutor.
So you were on our side.
Yes,
Right. You never worked on the other side?
no,
Did you like it when you were down there?
yes,
Got along with everybody?
yes,
Okay. And you lived next to Lauren for a long time?
yes,
Okay. Do you know where she's at tonight?
no,
Hmm?
no,
Have you ever seen her with that dress on?
no,
You have no idea where she's at?
no,
During the entire interview, he sat very still. At one point, the investigator left him alone in the interrogation room. And in a clip that I seen that was sped up, he sat there for a good 10, 20, 30 minutes, and he barely moved. Now, human nature, we're prone to scratch ourselves or move or, get in a more comfortable position. He did not move at all. He sat in the same spot the entire time. Normally, people would change positions or lay their head down, scratch their head, or something like that. Stephen stayed in that position for an extended period of time, and it was just weird when you look at it. Stephen would only give vague answers and were one or two words at most. It was because the investigator suspected either he was trying to fake an insanity plea or he was really in the midst of a mental breakdown. Stephen's behavior warranted a full psych eval, and he was subsequently found competent to stand trial. Late that night and early the next morning, Stephen would give a full confession. He let the investigators know that he had been obsessed and stalked Lauren for a while. He also stated that he had been in her apartment several times, and that night he entered her apartment using the master key. He had did this in order to watch her sleep for a while. While he was there, the bed creaked and woke Lauren up. Stephen stated that Lauren sat up and calmly told him to get the fuck out. At that point, Stephen was horrified that he had been found out and leapt across the bed and began strangling Lauren. Although she struggled and did her best to fight him off, ultimately Stephen got the better of her and strangled her to death. After he was sure that she was dead, he dragged her lifeless body to the bathroom and placed her in the bathtub for the rest of the night and the next day. The next night, he returned to Lauren's apartment where he would dispose of evidence and dismember her body. He disposed of her torso in the dumpster that was located in the parking lot. It was said that the trash was to be collected the morning of the investigation, but for some reason it wasn't. This may have been why Stephen was so shocked when he heard that the body parts had been found, and he probably believed the dumpster had been collected and he was in the clear. After a full confession and a psych eval, Stephen ultimately took a plea deal in which he would plead guilty to first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, sparing him from the death penalty. The plea deal included dropping additional charges for the flash drives and sex exploitation of children, charges that he had racked up. In an update in 2022, Stephen would represent himself and file a motion for a retrial, stating that his constitutional rights were violated, filed a malpractice complaint against his lawyer, and it accused the DA of stealing documentation from his trial prep, in which he requested that his conviction be overturned and released from prison. This ultimately was denied, and Stephen remains in Hancock State Prison in Georgia today. So let me know what you think of this story. It was very interesting. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Seeing some of those clips, I don't know, like the news clip where he just kind of broke down, seemed sincere at first. It really does. But once you find out the truth, it's just like, did he act like that because he was devastated that they found it and they were on to him? Or, was he just really devastated that she died? Apparently it wasn't, because he already knew that she was dead. And the interrogation, that first interrogation, I inserted some video clips. Let me know what y'all think about those. Those were like really creepy. He really creeped the investigators out. These are seasoned investigators, and they were backing up from him. Like, what is wrong with this guy? Like, something was really off about him, and I'm glad they did catch him in a timely fashion. let me know what y'all think about it in the comments. Make sure you like the video so it can get passed along to other people who may be interested in it. Share it with anyone who loves true crime like I do or obsessed with it. And make sure you subscribe so we can get more. Excuse all the heavy breathing and some of the cuts in the audio. I'm just starting out, so hopefully y'all stick with me. Until next time, stay obsessed.
I don't know anyone that would want to hurt her. She was as nice a person as there is.
Was she moving soon? Did you know anything about her?
Yeah. She was going to be moving out today. Why would anyone do this? Maybe I could have helped. I mean, they went in, we looked around the place, no sign of a struggle, no sign that anyone had broken in, just nothing.